Yes, sir.
So Simbu joined on 3rd of October and today is 23rd of October. In 20 days from step 1 till PMP. From step 1 till PMP. Right, Simbu?
Yeah, correct.
Simbu, can you share your journey in your own way, please?
Yeah. So basically, I initially thought this PMP program, right? So generally, it would take at least couple of months time to minimum. So if you are dedicating the full time, right? So at least it will take couple of months to get prepare itself, and then it will take at least 3-4 months time to get the certification, because based on the friends or the colleagues around me, right? So based on their experience, that is the feedback generally I was getting. And so one of my friend referred Amir. So and then I joined the class. So basically, when I joined the class, like he already had a plan, like maybe in 1 or 2 discussions. So generally decide like, so how we need to, I mean, have the roadmap ready for this particular person, so that he decide quickly. So then already we'll have the detailed plan for us. So we just have to like simply follow whatever the instructions he is giving, right? We just have to dedicate. So the same thing, I was just following whatever the feedback he was giving or whatever the instruction he was giving me. Like I simply blindly followed it. And regular follow-ups, especially like every day, like so 9 p.m. my time, we fixed a time. I mean the meeting. So even before the meeting, so always he used to like ask the follow-up, and even if there is any clarification needed after going through the content, right? So like you give the explanation also, like in case if you are having any doubt or confusion, especially with the when we do the mocks, right? So that was very much helpful for me. And also the consistent feedback, and also like especially like our improvement area, right? So that is something you quickly understand, and accordingly change the plan while preparing for the exam. So that was very much helpful. um, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What happened in the last week? I gave you final marks. You have
Yeah.
scored 50% and 50%. Then what I did?
Yeah, like because so suddenly like one of the incident was like around 53, 55 marks I was getting. So even I got panicked, but like Amir just said, okay, just connect on the call. So and then he gave some instructions. So I mean that was like even like I got kind of disturbed initially, but like from there, like through the guidance whatever Amir was giving, right? So with that I was able to quickly catch up. Yeah.
Okay. How was time management today?
Yeah, today time management, like so like the simple formula we need to follow is 80 75 75. So I went into the exam hall with that mindset. But the first 60 questions, right? So it was a kind of tough or lengthy, I would say today. But like all the steps, whatever you mentioned, right? Like so we need to go with the technique, like so read the last line first, and the elimination options, right? And also the keywords. So the same things I followed, even though the questions was lengthy. So I dedicated that 80 minutes. So within that 80 minute, like so almost I was able to come reach to the 60 questions, but still I marked few questions for the review, and I took another 3 to 4 minutes to like complete the review, and then I took the break. So the break also, like the 10 minutes break is really required, especially like when we do the real exam, right? And by the time we complete the 60 questions, right? So it is must to take the break. So definitely that break will help us to, like relax ourselves and calm down. And today I just went for a walk, and then I came back, and again I started the remaining 60. And the second 60 questions was okay. And then again took the second break. The third 60 was like kind of little bit difficult only, but it was not that difficult when compared to the first batch of 60. So like the time management is very important. Like even though, like you said, right? So even though like if you are closer to the timing, so still we don't have to rush ourselves or get tensed. So that is very important from this exam I felt. So I was not getting tense, but that thinking was there for the first 60. Like okay, we are very closer to time, right? So that is something we need to manage. Yeah. So that time management, like 80, 75, 75 is very important.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
time management is very important. Apart from time
Time.
management, what else is important?
So time management is the major thing. And also like the technique that you explained, right? So reading the last line and also the eliminating the options, because by default two option we need to eliminate. That is something we can eliminate. So that approach I followed, and also going with the keywords, because sometimes the questions are very lengthy, right? Sometimes maybe 4, 5 lines or 6 lines also. So
Hmm.
that important keywords we need to see.
Hmm.
So these are the approach I followed. And also generally, like if we are just reading the question from top and then we are try to answer right, so that was not working out during my mock also. But if I read the last line and then try to read the question right, so it is very easy, because so it was very helpful to correlate like what is the question, what is the answer we need to give. Yeah,
Hmm.
because sometimes like the question says what the PM should have done or what the PM should do,
Hmm.
right? So that is very important in the preparation and also during the exam.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a very nice thing how he put his, like, each thing how they have their important thing, and yeah. Okay, let's put it further in the context. How many drag and drop questions were there?
No, like I did not get the drag and drop questions.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's all mostly multiple choice. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how many questions with multiple options?
Like the first 60 I said, right? So it had a lot of multiple answers that I need to pick.
Hmm.
So and also the question was like 5, 6 lines I said, right? And also we need to pick 2 or 3 options. So maybe like out of the 60, maybe around at least somewhere close to 8 questions, I would say. So that is where like initially I felt bit complicated with the first section to
Hmm.
answer.
Hmm.
Yeah. But like I mean, not very complicated, I would say, because like in your mock, right? So there are so many questions in that format, right?
Hmm.
So we are kind of already prepared. Like out of like if we need to select 2 or 3 options also, right? Out
Hmm.
of 5, 6 options. So already like it is very easy to eliminate the unwanted options. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would be your advice since you give PMP in just 20 days? What would be your advice to other people who are preparing the exam, how they should study?
Okay. So like based on my experience, right? So in this PMP, the important uh, thing is like um, whenever we are going or learning these concepts, right? So during your class, okay. So you also give the summary, right? So we need to be very clear in the basics. So that is very important, like basics or rules, right? So that is very important, starting from the day one session. So if you are very clear with the basics and also rules or methods that should be followed, okay, that is the main thing. And after that, um, the second thing would be like our dedication level, also the time, I would say, because so when I was started, I mean, going through the sessions, right? So basically, what I felt is, like okay, the time management or the value of the time, that is something. So I realized very important, because generally like the other times, right, when we are not dedicated for the course or something, so we don't feel like either half an hour or 1 hour, right? We just like that, so waste here and there also many times, right? But during the preparation I felt the time management also very important. So that's one thing. And also like mainly your content, so that is most important. And also your rules and instructions that we need to keep in the mind always. And today also, like before I go to that exam, right? So the 2 documents which you gave, I was just reading those only. So I just took the printout and then I was just going through those. the tips and the content, right? It was very short, but that is something the ground rules I would say for the PMP.
Mm.
Yeah. So that is very important. We need to follow. And apart from that, so like whenever we are finishing the sessions, right? So after that, the next is the mock that we are doing, right? So when we do the initial mock itself, if we are applying your rules, whatever you suggested, right? That eliminate the last line and then eliminating the options. So that procedure, if you start follow from the day one practice, so then we don't have to spend too much of time also. Even so, this 20 days or 15 days also not needed. If you're strictly dedicated, just sit and do that, right? So even before we can still achieve the PMP. So especially with your the mock questions and also the content, because when I was doing the today exam also, right? So I felt the similar kind of questions. Okay, maybe the situation is similar, but the examples are different, but the situation was almost same. So like that's one thing we need to do. And after we finish the mock exam, right, the RCA, so that is very, very important. So during this PMP learning, because so here like out of the two option we select, right, one option. So always be confident. Okay, so the option is correct, right? But there are mistakes we do, and then when we go through the RCA, so the good thing with this RCA is, right, so already you give the explanation yourself. So in that it is already embedded in the exams, right? So that we need to go through, and also we need to apply our own learning and understanding. So to like find out the root cause. So that is very important, because initially when I was giving the exam, I was getting around 55 to 60. But then you said like, okay, you do the RCA first, the detailed RCA. That's very, very important in this PMP preparation. So once I did the RCA, then I was able to, like kind of score more, because you saw, right, suddenly it jumped to 75, 80, in some case 88. So that change we could see after we, like apply that RCA method. So that's another important thing we need to do. And the next one is that the 180 questions mock, right? So I mean, to do that mock, so we need to have that continuous 4 hour we need to spend, right? So that is very important. So because so that's a kind of real practice we are doing right before the live exam. So I felt that was very, very important. And also the challenging part was like initially like to spend the continuous 4 hours for the exam, right? That was a bit difficult, but it is not that difficult when I was doing the second or third mock. Yeah, so that is also another important thing we need to do. Um, and yeah, and also like some of the marathon that you conduct on the weekends, right? So the live sessions. So that was also very helpful. So I joined few of the marathon sessions where you explain I mean, solve the questions and also explain the scenario or the content, right? So that was very helpful.
Mm.
Even though I did not join all of them, but yeah, some of them, yes.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so putting that into the context, okay, the what would be further now you will say, okay, if I do this, you can become PMP. That is consistency, consistency, and consistency, which you build into that way. Okay, and how was the exam feelings when you were going? Did you feel that you were gonna pass the exam, or you were feeling, no, I'm not gonna pass the exam, things like that? What were you feeling?
Hmm. No, like I mean, my confidence level was high, because especially like because in your mocks also you are giving the like the difficult, you are increasing difficulty levels, right? So with that I was confident, and slightly on that first 60 questions I said, right? So there I felt bit initially bit difficult, but like so like you suggested, right? Because the time management is very important, and also we should not get nervous at any point of time during the exam. So these two are very important during your exam. So that is the same thing I applied. But uh, when I was in the exam, or like when I was about to finish, like, so I was confident that I'll get passed, because so already, like, wherever I was lacking during the preparation itself, right, you already corrected all of those. So I was having the complete confidence on that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Simbu. It has been a great journey. I loved every single day of that, a small journey. Simbu, do share your picture. I'll use as a thumbnail. And please make 10 to 15 questions I'm going to use on Sunday PMP Marathon. Okay,
Yeah.
Simbu,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for this journey.